Hey everyone, this is Jessie from SpoilMeWellOils.com, and today we're going to talk about the starter kit you've just received or is on its way and how to use everything in it. When you first receive your starter kit, there's going to be two boxes inside. One is the diffuser, which is what I have back here. I have the Dewdrop, and then one of them is the box that contains your oils and samples and all of your goodies. So go ahead and get this box, which is all of your oils, and we'll open that up. And you'll see when you first open it, there's going to be a little cover on here that we'll just pull off. And then all of your oils are going to be here. The top line of oils all has a white label. These are Vitality oils, and those ones are the ones that the FDA has said is generally regarded as safe, and safe for internal use or consumption, meaning that you can put a drop of lemon in your water or your tea. You can mix it in with anything you're making as far as food. There's a lot of really great ones. Like the basil and rosemary and some of the Italian ones we like to put in our pasta sauce. There's tons of things you can do with them. I even make lemon lavender cookies, all kinds of stuff. But these ones up here, that's that Vitality line. The most common way that we use those is just to put a drop in our water. They're very, very potent oils, as you probably learned in a 101 class if you've done one of those, so you don't need very much of them, and a little bit just goes a long way. So definitely look at dilution on all oils before you're using them, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here in a minute. This bottom line, they are the ones that are in solid colors, and again, I'm not going to go over each of these individually with their uses and benefits because I'd like you to go ahead and watch a 101 class or attend one if you haven't already been. But if you've bought in a starter kit, I'm going to assume that most of you have already been to the 101, so you've gotten the rundown on the basics of these. I really just want to show you what the starter kit can do and how to use it for now. You can go ahead and pull out the oils, and this comes out, and then you'll see there's more in here, and we'll talk about these in just a moment. But I do want to show you something really cool on this. As you can see behind me, I have this display. It's really just a nail polish rack that I bought off of Amazon, but it had the Tree of Life, and I think it's really pretty, so I like that because I have more than just the oils that come in the starter kit at this point. But this is a really great starting place to help. It's intended to help replace the common things that you use all the time in your medicine cabinet. There's a little bit of everything included in this, so it's a great starter kit. If you turn it around, you'll see on the back that you can pull this out, and I'll show you. And what it does is it creates your own little stand or display for your oils. And then you have a way to display them. This is really good if you're going to, in the future, start teaching classes because you can display these. And always save your used bottles, even if everything's gone, because people can still smell them and look at them. Again, really great for display, or you can reuse the bottles when you're diluting. I never throw away any of my bottles. I always reuse them. But this display is really awesome. Gives you something to put your oils in right from the get-go. Inside the starter kit, there's also going to be a bottle of Stress Away. So go ahead and get that. And then you're also going to see that there is this little roller fitment. And this is to make your own roller bottle, as well as a cap that fits on that. And I'm going to show you right now how to go ahead and use that. So you're going to take your Stress Away. Now, you see right here that there is already a little cap on here, and this helps to slow down the flow of the oil, so you can use it just as a dropper, and the oils will come out one at a time, which is really great because you don't want to waste your oils, and like I said, they're really potent, so you don't need that much. But to get this piece off, to be able to put this on, you're going to take the cap, and you kind of just put it on the top there, and then pull it off. And it comes off very easy. All the bottles that Young Living makes are like this. And then that way you don't have to get your fingers all oily or slippery and worry about dropping it or wasting any of it. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the roller fitment. You're just going to set it on top. You don't need to push it all the way down, because what happens is when you put the lid on and screw the lid on all the way, it puts it in place for you. And then you can just use it as a roller. With the rollers, a lot of the good places to use these are on your wrists, so you can smell it, on the back of your neck, or on the bottoms of your feet. I use the bottoms of your feet for the ones I'm not particularly crazy about the smell from, There's a lot of good benefits from oils that, to me, just don't smell all that great, but I still really love using them. So if you put them on the bottoms of your feet, it's a good way to get those into your body and into your bloodstream right away. Your feet have really big pores, and so they absorb very quickly. Now, I went ahead and put the Roller Fitment on the Stress Away. It's designed to do that. Stress Away is one of the oils that you don't necessarily need to dilute. If you're using it for children, or somebody who may be really sensitive, you will want to dilute it and test a small area of your skin, which you will always want to do with any oil before you use it. And there are very, very few oils that you want to apply neat, meaning straight from the bottle, without diluting them. And you can find this on the label. So you're going to see that the contents of this one, because this is a blend, there are multiple single oils in it. And then you can also pull this little piece up, and it's going to have directions. And the directions say add 2 drops to water as needed. Now, of course, oils don't mix with water very well, so we'll talk about that in just a minute and how to do that. But with this one, with Stress Away, I really just like using it as a roller fitment. It does not need to be diluted unless you have very sensitive skin, or for younger than 18 children may need a little bit more because their bodies are more sensitive and absorb things quicker than adults, excuse me. Moving on, in your kit, you're also going to find 2 packets of Miracle Juice, and it's not, it's an antioxidant blend made from wolfberries that Young Living and Gary Young have come up with. It tastes awesome. These packets are really good, chilled a little bit. I like to stick them in my fridge for a few minutes. Just shake them up, and then you rip the top off and drink them. You will find so many benefits from Ningxia that they wanted to include it free in your starter kit so you could try it and see what you think. I buy it by the big bottle, and I take about 1 to 2 ounces every morning when I get up, and it just really helps with energy, fighting free radicals, all those things that antioxidants can do for your body, and it's one of the highest antioxidant drinks out there. And definitely do your research on that, because what you're going to find is some pretty amazing things that the Ningxia Red can do. And there's also going to be these little samples inside your kit. And these little samples are great. You can keep them in your purse and use them yourself. You can give them out to people. It's a really good way to share the oils. Just make sure you talk to people about how to use them, because what I found is if I just hand them a sample of something and I don't sit and explain to them how to use it, how to dilute it, what it's good for, where to put it, those types of things, then it never gets used, and then it's just wasted. I also keep these in my purse, so that way if I'm out and about somewhere and I really feel like I need some of the oils, it's a good, convenient way to have them. You're also going to see, there's going to be some cards in your kit, and some of them are blank, and then many of them have some of the oils on them, and then inside it explains the benefits and uses, and then there's also a little area to punch out right here. And what you do is with these little bottles, you can put a sample in here, and you can do it neat and explain to people how to dilute it, or you can pre-dilute it for them, and then you just stick the little bottle through the hole and then screw on the cap, and then you have another way to really share the benefits of the oils, and it's all ready to go for you in your starter kit. And this is, again, another good way if you're a business builder or really just trying to help somebody with something. I find that Thieves is one that I tend to sample the most. And so I keep a lot of those samples with me, because when I'm out and about and I have a lot of friends that are moms, their kids are in daycare, they're working in offices, they go to the gym, the grocery store, all these places. And Thieves is such a good immune support that it's great just to have on hand and give to people, especially during the winter and fall, back to school, those times. So again, here's the bottom of this. You have your Ningxia, you have your little cards to share, the little sample vials, your little sample packets, your Stress Away, the roller fitment, and lid. And then this just folds back up. You can push these down and then stick it right back in. And there you go. So it's pretty easy as far as what's in here. At the top here, you're also going to see that there is a little new member information packet. It does talk about joining Young Living, what that means, your discount, and it also has what's called a roadmap to success. So if you were going to build a business now or maybe potentially down the road, it kind of gives you an idea of what to expect and the compensation and those types of things, which is really handy. It all folds back up. Super nice. You can put this back on if you like. And there you go. The other thing in your starter kit that you will receive that comes in this beautiful purple box is your diffuser. And you are going to love your diffuser, and if you are anything like me or 99% of my team, you will be using it every day from now on. There is a little book in here that explains how to use it, and I'll go ahead and pull it out and just kind of show you what to do. So it's going to come in pieces. The first piece is the whole thing put together, and then you have your cord. And your diffuser comes in 3 different pieces like this. There's 2, and then there's this one. And what you're going to do is you'll see inside. There's this little red dot here. You fill up with water to here. This dewdrop diffuser can use any type of water. You can use tap water, you can use distilled water, whatever. I like to use distilled water. It's a little bit better for the diffuser, but you can use whatever you like on this one. If you receive something other than the dewdrop, sometimes they do recommend you only use distilled water, so definitely take a look at the instructions and see what it says for that. So you're going to go ahead and fill the line up to here with water. I just have a bottle of purified drinking water that I would pour in up there or just grab some from my sink. And then in order to have the diffuser, the best results is to only fill there so it's not too high. And then you're going to add about 6 to 10 drops of oil for the dewdrop diffuser. Some of them can use a little bit more or less depending on what they are, but generally 6 to 10 drops is going to be good. When it's filled to there with 6 to 10 drops, it will last about 2 to 3 hours in your room that you have it in. Bigger rooms, obviously, it's going to fill up a little bit more and it's not going to be quite as strong. Smaller rooms, you're going to have a little bit more potent effect. You really only need the diffuser on for 30 minutes to get the medicinal benefits of the oils. Any longer than that, and it's not going to hurt you, it's okay. I sometimes have mine on all day. Some people like to use some of the oils like Purification or the citrus or lemon or thieves all the time. It makes your house smell amazing, and you are still getting those benefits. But if you're strictly looking for the medicinal benefits, specifically at bedtime, you really only need it on for 30 minutes. And if you're doing that 30 minutes, then that really helps eliminate the waste and makes your oils go a lot farther. Because you aren't using quite so much. And again, stick to that 6 to 10 drops. You really don't need any more. It can be all the same oil. It can be a blend. It can be a mix of 3 oils that you love together. One of my favorite blends from the starter kit is to put about 2 to 3 drops of each lemon, lavender, and peppermint. I love the way it smells, and it really helps with a lot of the benefits that those oils offer to my family. So once you have this filled with water and your oil, you're going to take the smaller piece and put it right on top. And then you'll take the larger piece and put that on top. And then there's a little plug over here that you'll plug in your cord and you'll plug it into an outlet. And then let me show you what it does is on the first time you push this little button here, it'll turn it on and it'll have a blue light like this one. If you push it twice, it will still be on and diffusing, but the light will be off. This is especially helpful at nighttime when you're trying to get some sleep, but maybe that light is bothersome to you. It definitely is for me. I'm a really light sleeper. I have to have the light on. The dewdrop is really quiet, so I love it in my room. I can put it right next to me on my nightstand and barely hear anything, but as long as that light's off, it's awesome. Hitting the button 3 times will turn it back off. So 1 time you get a light with the diffuser, 2 times is just the diffusing, 3 times it turns it off. To clean your diffuser, it's recommended that you clean it after every time you switch the oil. So if you're going, say, from lemon and then you want to put lavender in or something like that, the directions recommend you clean it. I take a Q-tip or a cotton ball and I clean it out with water and maybe just a tiny bit of vinegar, and then I just rinse it out with water again. And that's all you really need to do. I probably clean my diffusers about once a week, but I have a lot of them. So I have one in my room that uses all the same oils for the most part, all of my nighttime oils, and so I don't need to clean it quite as often because I'm not switching in between oils and trying to get different benefits. I wouldn't want to take my nighttime oil diffuser and bring it down during the daytime and start diffusing and then having all these nighttime ones coming up and making me sleepy. So I keep one downstairs that's specifically for my daytime oils. Again, when I switch them out, I do try and clean it, at least wipe it down with some water, maybe a little bit of vinegar to get the rest out and rinse it really well. It's also going to make your diffuser last a lot longer if you keep it clean. And so that way nothing gets plugged up and there's no grime or anything that's building up in the bottom. It doesn't take a lot to clean it. Another really, really awesome way to clean your diffuser is to get the Thieves household cleaner. and just spray a little bit of that and then wipe it down. That's probably how I clean mine the most often because I am just obsessed with Thieves everything. And the household cleaner is absolutely amazing, so I use that. Again, just dilute the Thieves household cleaner down, spray it in here, wipe it out with paper towel, maybe rinse it a little bit, and you're all set to go. So your diffuser is going to become your best friend. There's definitely other ways that you can use your oils. I'm going to talk about a few of those here in just a minute. If you signed up with another team, that's perfectly fine. I'm always happy to help. If you've signed up with my team, more than likely you have received a starter kit of accessories to get you going with everything. We like to make sure that everybody has everything they need to get going and that we're able to help them. So I'm going to go over some of the accessories that we commonly put in your starter kit. This may change a little bit, but for the most part, we like to include a little spray bottle, another roller bottle, and then we'll put a dropper bottle. And a lot of times this dropper bottle will be filled with a carrier oil. And I'll just talk about what carrier oils are for a moment. A carrier oil is a vegetable oil. Young Living makes an amazing one. It's called V6. It's a blend of vegetable oils. You can also get things like fractionated coconut oil. I get this at Walmart. It's cheap. It's easy. Grapeseed oil, any of the vegetable oils are really great. I like to research which vegetable oils I use based on their benefits, especially on my skin and my hair and things like that. But what the carrier oil does is it's used to dilute the oil so they're not so strong, so you're not likely to get any sort of reaction from the strength of these. Again, they're very, very powerful. It takes 17 lemons to go into just one drop of lemon oil that you get because of how potent it is and the extraction of the oil from the rinds. It's pretty amazing, all the things it can do. But anyway, so we want to dilute it not only to make sure that we're not using it too strong because it's unnecessary, but the other reason is that essential oils are very volatile, meaning that they evaporate very quickly. By adding a carrier oil, it's going to help slow this process so your body's able to absorb it, whether you're putting it on topically with a roller or just putting it in your hands and breathing it in or putting it on your skin. You never want to use the carrier oil in your diffuser. It's too thick and it will clog it up and potentially break it. Use the regular oil straight. The technology behind it helps emulsify it so that you're getting the little droplets of your essential oils in the water as diluted as they need to be. This is strictly for putting it on your skin topically or when you make things like lotions or balms, chapstick, that sort of stuff. Because again, it helps the oils go a lot longer and dilute them to where they should be. When you're looking at dilution, again, remember to look on the Young Living bottles or on the Young Living website. A lot of them are diluted 1:4, meaning that you would put 1 drop of oil with 4 drops of carrier oil. Now, this doesn't have to be perfect, so if you are off slightly, really it's not going to hurt anything. I usually eyeball it, so we'll take this roller bottle, and what I'll do is I'll fill it up, to about right here with my essential oil, and then the rest with the carrier oil, again, based on the dilution. Some of them it's 1:2, some of it's 1:1. Just take a look at that. And so you'll put your essential oil in first, fill it up to whatever the dilution is, and then put the rest carrier oil. These little roller bottles, it's the same thing. You stick the top on and then put the lid on, and then I just kind of mix it around, and then you can roll it on. I try to always get the roller bottles with the metal little fitments here because it helps preserve the integrity of the bottle. Some of the citrus oils, because they are so strong, they can start to break down the plastics, and then you're putting the plastics in your body, so you don't want to do that. So you want to try and stick with the metal roller fitments. If you're diluting it, it's not really that big of a deal, but when we're going healthy, we're going to try and do this the right way, and using those metal fitments is really a good step to do that. I always label the rollers and anything else I'm diluting with what is in it and how I diluted it, so that way there's never any question. And if this was diluted, for instance, 1 part Thieves to 4 parts carrier oil, which is the recommended dilution for Thieves, then I would know that this was for my use, my adult use. If it was for my kid, I would dilute it more. Again, definitely research on how much based on your kid's size, age, all of that. But again, that way there's no confusion and we're not hurting anything. Again, if it's not perfect, it's not a huge deal. Same can go with the droppers. I usually fill these up with my carrier oil to give to my new team members, but you can do the same with diluting and just put 1 part essential oil with however many parts of your carrier oil, and then you can take it out, put a drop on your hand, rub it in. You can put it on the back of your neck, bottom of your feet, however it works best. One tip that I've always learned is never to put it on your fingertips, because our fingertips often go in our eyes and our face and different places. If we put it in the palm of our hand to smell it, then you're not going to worry so much about getting in your eyes, because the only places that you really need to worry about the oils is, and where they cannot go, is your eyes and your ears. And so be very careful with that. Otherwise, look at the bottle, do your research, go to the Young Living website, go to our website at spoilmewelloils.com. We have lots of suggested uses, recipes, and information there. The last thing I will go over is a lot of times I'll include a spray bottle, and it's really nice to make little spray bottles. You can use these for household sprays, for personal sprays, perfumes. You can carry them in your purse. You can use them as an all-natural purifier, anything like that. But as we know, oils don't mix with water, so you need to have some sort of emulsifier. And what I found to make these, the best emulsifier is salt. So I take salt. You can use sea salt, regular salt. I usually try and go with a fine grain so it dissolves better. And I'll put a little bit in my measuring spoon. And you don't really need a whole lot. It's going to be dependent on the size of your bottle. And then I'll put a few drops of whatever my oil is on top of it, and I let it absorb in the salt. Then I'll take my bottle with the little spray fitment, and after the oil has absorbed in there pretty well, then I'll just dump it in. And I try not to touch it too much with my fingers because the dirt and the grime on my fingers, but if you need to, you can scrape it out and put it in. And then I'll take some warm, not hot because you don't want to compromise the integrity of the oils, but warm water, and distilled is usually best. And then just fill the rest up, put the lid on, and shake it up. Because the oils were absorbed into the salt, and the salt is going to then dissolve in the warm water, it's going to emulsify it. You're still going to want to shake it before you use it, but this is a really good way to spread out those oils so they're not just sitting on top up here. So you do that, and then you're just going to spray. These are good to give as gifts. Again, perfumes, keep in your purse. You can make a little thieves purifier. Whatever you use them for, you can go to Pinterest. Our Pinterest is full of ideas on all these different things you can do with the oils, primarily based on the starter kit as well. So now that you have your starter kit, I definitely recommend you go and get some books, do your research. There's a couple really great apps that we recommend, and I'll show you those real quick. One of them is called the EO Bar, and hopefully you can see this. It's by Jen O'Sullivan. She's absolutely amazing. She's a certified aromatherapist in multiple different avenues of that, and there's different ways to apply it, recipes, anything like that. This is a great one. It's the EO Bar. The other one I really like to use is called the Ref Guide for Essential Oils. When you go to search in your app store, you put in Ref Guide, the number 4 EO to pull it up. And it looks like this. Again, it has a lot of information about single oils, blends, how to use them, and all of that. Those are really great apps. There's some really great books out there as well. You're always welcome to contact whoever signed you up. You can contact me, and I can give you more ideas as well. And of course, our main point of reference is spoilmewelloils.com. If you are signed up with our team, you also have a private back page that will give you all of the books that I've done with my recipes, including all my thieves recipes, kids recipes, pet recipes, all of that. If you don't have that information and you are on my team, reach out so we can get you the password for that. So I really hope that this helps you get started with your kit. We are so excited to have you. And please, if you have any questions, just let us know. Contact who signed you up. Contact me. Contact anybody on our team, and we're happy to help you, and we are here.